all week long. Our friend Joel Griffith is here, research fellow at Heritage, to give us the latest. Joel, how are you, brother?
Hey, doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Can we even begin to describe what the heck could possibly be in this thing? Where do you want to start?
Well, we're still trying to read through it. As you mentioned, this is several thousand pages in length, and they're trying to ram this through. But just on the surface, there's definitely some things that jump out, such as billions of dollars for zero-emission school buses and electric ferries and equitable broadband. And that's just the wasteful spending components. But remember, each and every dollar of this massive package is another dollar that we're borrowing from the future or that we're printing. And we're already seeing the economic consequences of some of that massive spending. And this just adds to it. Some of the worst deals that we've ever gotten as a country have been these bipartisan deals. Republicans and Democrat politicians alike are susceptible to the joys of spending other people's money and future generations' money, and that's exactly what this is.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the bipartisan part. Like, that really does shut down a lot of people's brains of thinking like, oh, well, then it must be okay. But everyone loves wasting money in DC, right? That's bipartisan.
Well, that's right. Politicians love to be able to point to their pet projects for, or handouts to constituents in their district, but we're compounding this. We're multiplying this by hundreds of districts and by 100 senators. There's something in it for everyone. But what politicians don't like to remind us is that we have to pay for it. Either we're going to have to tax and spend it, or we're going to have to borrow, we're going to have to print it. There's no free lunch on this. And something even more dangerous about this bill is really this is going to be a back door through a process called reconciliation, which we can talk about if you'd like. But this is going to be a back door to forcing through even more of a radical left-wing agenda in the coming months if this passes.
Well, lay it on me, because I heard some Green New Deal-like things when you just talked about, green this, elect ferries, blah, blah, blah. What is reconciliation? We've all heard the word. What is it?
Yeah, so for most of these spending packages, in order to avoid a filibuster, you have to have 60 senators come on board. 60 senators can get together and vote to cut off debate and move a bill forward. So you got to have 60 votes. So that's what they're working towards here. They're going to have the Democrats and maybe 8 or 9 or 10 Republican senators join on board, and they can pass this. Well, once this passes, Congress can then pass new legislation that will be really amendments to this. It'll reconcile it. And a reconciliation only requires 51 votes. Now, that reconciliation sounds pretty innocuous. You think, oh, we're going to clarify a few things, make a few changes. But no. Reconciliation allows enormous changes to happen. And what those that are far to the left in Congress hope to do is actually pass basically a Green New Deal through reconciliation, and also pass amnesty for millions of people that are here illegally. And they're going to somehow relate it to infrastructure because, hey, we're redefining words all the time now. Why not redefine infrastructure? Yeah. And that's why this is really so dangerous.
Totally. And that's like a brilliant scam that they're pulling. How do the 10 or so Republicans who are signing on to the initial bill not see right through that and know the Trojan horse-ness of it?
Well, it is a Trojan horse, and they should see through it. These are some of the most esteemed and knowledgeable political leaders in our country. But once again, this infrastructure package is filled with goodies, and politicians want to claim credit for that. And if that means disastrous consequences in other policy matters going forward, they've made a determination that that's something they're comfortable with. And most people, we're trying to live our lives. Most people aren't focused on arcane parliamentary rules of procedure. But this is something that people need to pay attention to, even if you've never heard these words before, these concepts before, because this is something that'll have a very real impact on your financial future, and it'll have a very real impact on how our democracy will function going forward. You shouldn't be passing Green New Deals or massive amnesty under cover of an infrastructure bill, but that's what they're trying to do.
Wow. That was deep and insightful. I want more of that. Like, subscribe, get more.